Hey guys, I just got back from Michael's and I hit the jackpot when it comes to clearance items. And I just wanted to share with you what I got, so you can kind of get an idea of the different things that Michael's has. I'm doing this as a live, just in case anyone wants to watch it. Uh, but I'll also be posting this as a video to my page so you can rewatch it. Now, as always, with clearance racks, your mileage may vary. It depends on your local store and it depends on, what sells well there, what doesn't sell well there. This is all the stuff that, well, this isn't everything that was on clearance, but it was quite a bit of the things that I saw that were relevant to my interest. So, yeah, I'll walk you through it. So the reason why I went there in the first place was to get these gel printing plaques or plates. Um, in my last video, I kind of showed how to use UFO paper with alcohol, ink, and acrylic to create some really cool effects. This is actually a really common thing to use if you're like a printmaker. And I used it back in the day when I was in like art class in high school or first couple of years of college. And it's a lot of fun to play with. So I thought you guys might want to see how I utilize this when making um, jewelry or making, you know, cards for business cards or even cards for putting your jewelry on. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word, but so that's that. And so yeah, I ended up buying two because they were 30% off, and I had some of the gift cards or the little reward $5 off coupons that they give you. So I have two of these. I'm excited about that. Those were not clearanced, but again, that's kind of why I went there in the first place. Here, I've got some clearance items. These alcohol inks are by Ranger, which is a pretty good brand from what I've heard. I haven't really used this brand before, but I do want to try them out, see how they are. And for $5 a pack, when these are normally 14, and even like if you buy alcohol ink by the bottle, it's usually pretty expensive. So I got these. I'm showing off the different clearance items that I bought at Michael's. So if you have a Michaels near you, I'm a resin artist, so I make a lot of jewelry out of resin. So these are all different things that I bought kind of for that purpose. So two sets of alcohol inks. These are Cobalt, Boysenberry, and Vineyard, Crimson, Aqua, and Sepia. And then I also bought this big one of Laguna. And I can't, just by looking at the bottle, I can't really tell what's going on in there. I'm not sure. Hi. Hi, Maria. So great to see you. Hello. Welcome. I'm not really sure what color this is going to turn out to be. It looks like green, but also maybe blue. So I'll try those in a minute and see what they look like. I also have these. These are ink sprays. Never tried these before, but I think they might be pretty cool. So we'll play around with that too. And once I go through all the clearance items that I bought, I will kind of show you like what the plan is for these. I bought these connectors because I never leave these behind. Like if I see them, especially if they're on sale, I will use them to make jewelry or I'm planning on using these to make bracelets. I'll go grab really quickly the bracelet that I made using an oval one of these. So give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Okay, so like this was one of those connectors, basically just like this, but oval. And I turned it into a resin bracelet using alcohol inks just like these. So these are pretty cool. Setting that aside, I have these, the nylon jewelry pliers. These are always expensive. Normally, they're even more expensive than 14.99. But I don't have a pair of nylon pliers. These are great for when you're making jewelry because if you have these little pieces like this, it's not going to scratch up the surface. So I definitely needed a pair. I've been telling my husband for a while, but everywhere we go, they're like 25, $30. So yeah, so I bought some of those. Couldn't resist that. And then, like I said, I have these little connectors with a few different styles, and I'll make some jewelry out of them using UV resin. So just like this. Next up, I have some stencils. Now, these are great for normal use, but what I'm planning on doing is laying them all out and creating a mold using silicone, a two-part silicone mold making fluid. And that way I can have these letters on demand in little plastic pieces made of resin, which will be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely do a video on how I do this. Now, when you're making jewelry like this, you're always going to kind of get those edges that are a little bit sharp. These little files are super helpful for that. So you can use these to smooth out edges. You can also use them to shine metal as well. So that's super helpful. Really happy I found these. I was going to buy some from Amazon that were like, construction worker files, and they were pretty pricey. I also got these, and I got a few different packs. So I got two of these and one that's a little bit thinner, but these were $5, and these always make really great bases for bracelets. And I'm planning on trying like an enamel effect with UV resin, and I think that will be really cool. So there's that. I also bought these, which I'm also going to make a mold from. They're super pretty. Let's see, let me find something to hold behind it. Super pretty, and excuse me, I pick up all of a sudden. I'm going to try to make a mold out of this, and if it works, I'm hoping that it reflects the iridescence the way this does, because that's super, super pretty looking. If it doesn't, then I'll just turn them into rings or something. We'll see. And then I got this little light. It was only $3. Amazing. I love that. And then last but not least, I got this little frame. And the reason I bought this is because when I'm taking photos of jewelry that I plan to like sell or post, it's always tricky trying to find a way to display it. So I thought it would be cool to kind of like turn this upside down. And then like let's say I'm taking photos of that bracelet, which I lost. Where did I put it? I don't know where it went. Oh, here it goes. And so like if I want to, I can kind of like hook this around like that, and then I can take a photo of it. And I plan to remove this, maybe, we'll see, because I do think that would also be kind of helpful if there's something that I'm trying to show off. But yeah, I this will be a great way to have it sit upright, and I don't even necessarily have to loop it like this. I can always just kind of let it lay over the side like that. But of course, it's, it's going to be a bit trickier. But I really like the way that looks against it. So hopefully we'll get some cool photos using that. And yeah, so that was my haul. So now what I'm going to do is show you kind of my plan for this gel plate. And then I'll also show you like kind of using these alcohol inks as well. Okay, so I have my gel plate. I have a piece of blank cardstock, and I have some alcohol ink. I have a lot of alcohol inks up there too. So, but yeah, so I'm going to use this to make something. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to open this one up. First time using it. And there it is. And I'm gonna take the acetate off the front, and I'm going to, let's see, I want to do like a, let's do like purple. Let's do these colors. I'll set this stuff all aside. I may end up adding some of this one just to see what it looks like. Let me set that stuff aside. Okay, so I have this. I'm going to open this box. Sorry about the noise. Also, sorry if I sound funny. I a tiny little bit of a cold. There you go. Should have opened all this stuff before. What can I cut this with? So there it goes. Okay, that. Yeah, I may need to slice this open with something. I literally don't have anything at hand to cut this stuff with. There we go. I use these cuticle nippers for cutting small pieces of resin off that don't belong where they show up. Wow, even that didn't work. This is why I pre-record all of my content, by the way. Rip this off a little bit. That's fine as long as it's open. And then this one. See, there's like a perforated edge there. How did I not see that? Okay, there we go. I'm just going to scrape off this yucky bit here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and open this as well. Skip through all of this part. Okay, all right, all right, all right. I have this, and I'm going to, wow, no wonder it was on clearance. Look at it's all bent. I'm just going to add a couple of drops of it, like that. And you'll see it blooming out like that. It's really cool. And I'm going to also use this. I'm just going to shake it a little bit. I love this color. This is my favorite color. Okay, so this is ink spray. I think it's just alcohol ink and maybe some alcohol, water-based, acid-free, concentrated colorant. So, I'm gonna, ooh, let me take this out from under so it doesn't get ruined right off the bat. Hopefully put something on my work surface. Okay, so, and now you can't see that. So, lay this down underneath it. There we go. So far, looking pretty cool. Let me spray this one. Let me spray this one. Okay, and then this is what I like to do. I like to take pure alcohol, just some pure alcohol and spray it until it all starts to kind of start moving around. And I'm just going to give it a little wiggle, get the stuff to kind of move around a little bit. There we go, like that. Okay. And then now that that's done, and you could do more alcohol ink if you wanted to. You could literally like um, use every color you own if you wanted to, but I'm trying to avoid like a big mess. And then just for funsies, I'm gonna pop on some of this glitter foil, gold flake, and then I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top as if it were just basil or something. My husband and I were watching a show about, watching a YouTube series, and they were talking about pizza, and now I'm just thinking about pizza. So I'm kind of spread that around. That was maybe a little too much, but oh well. Just kind of wherever your heart pleases. Okay. Mhm. Okay, there we are. Feel very Bob Rossy right now. Just a happy little accident. Got two little flakes over here that tried to run away. Now, I haven't tried this particular method yet. I don't know how the alcohol ink is going to work. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press my, um, and when I said alcohol ink, I meant gold flake. So now I'm just going to press it down onto my paper and give it a rub like that. Watch this be super ugly. Okay, we'll peel it off. Well, none of the alcohol ink came off, and also, or none of the glitter came off. Also, the looks like the Laguna kind of dried, which not a big deal. We'll add that on later, but I do want to try to get the other color off. So I'm going to re-wet it using this. And I'm going to lay it down. That, and then lift it up. Came off a little bit. Okay, so we got some spots. Now, this situation with the glitter or the flake did not work the way I wanted it to, but that's okay because I have another plan. Um, Another thing that I saw someone else do that I think might work here. So I'm going to grab, let's see, I need some paint. Okay, I have some acrylic paint. Put a little bit of that down. Then, now the trick here is to get it as smooth as possible before it starts to dry. So I need something to do that with, and I think this might work. Normally you would use a braying tool, but I don't have one on hand, so I'm just going to use this spatula. I'm just going to smooth it all over. And if you use items that are meant for the kitchen in your crafting, don't ever use them in the kitchen again. Just don't do it. Mm, there we go. And then we want to give it a chance to get tacky but not dry. So brushing this down, and there we go. Give it a moment or two. And just for the sake of the experiments, I'm going to go ahead and put it right back on here. So give it some more sealer. And I'm going to lay it down. Going to smooth it, pressing it really close. And I'm going to give it a moment to kind of absorb the paint. Okay, and I just turn the whole thing upside down, like that. And I don't really know how long I'm supposed to wait, so I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully it will take that glitter or the gold flake off of my jelly plate. And it did. Cool. All right. That's pretty neat. Um, I'm gonna just put this on here. Oh, that looks really cool. Now, I wonder if I put down, if I spray this with more alcohol, I wonder if that effect would show up on something. Let me grab another piece of cardstock. Okay, let's try again. So I'm gonna just spray this down. Again, that's just pure isopropyl alcohol. And I'm gonna lay that down. Oh, that looks really cool. That looks so cool. Just trying to get rid of that excess paint that's on there. I'm gonna add some more detail to it. Let's see. Do some more of this color. This is so messy, by the way. I should have wore gloves. Okay. And dab, 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 dab. Ooh, love that. Let me try to get my light a little closer. That's really pretty. Okay, let's fill up the edges. Let's see, what am I going to do with the edges? Um, what do I want to do with the edges? Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to use more of this. I don't know if that's going to come off or not. I'll have to try washing it later and see. These are meant to get super messy though, so I'm not too worried. Like that. And I have some gold paint somewhere. Yet I have no idea where I put it. And I just cleaned my studio yesterday, so there's really no excuses. Okay. Anyway, um, I'm just gonna kind of push it around a little bit, like that, just to get some variation. Um, okay, here we go. And I'm gonna just like stamp just the edges. Just keep going around. I'm not even gonna look at it until it's done. How about that? If you just joined me, I'm basically just like playing around with this new jelly plate that I bought. Ah, that looks cool. Just to see kind of what it does, what it looks like. I kind of saw a little bit of it there, but I'm just going around and making a mess and playing. What else is there to do on a Sunday besides watch college basketball, which is what my husband's doing? There we go. And then I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Here in this corner. That looks so cool. Okay. Um, I think maybe more purple. I don't know. I kind of like the way it looks right now. Um, but I am gonna try to find my gold paint. I really want to put some gold on this. Ah, I found it. Okay, so this is by Folk Art Treasure Gold. And it's so pretty. Like it has such a gorgeous metallic finish. Okay, what I'm gonna do here, first I'm gonna add alcohol ink. Then I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of this on the plate like that. It's a lot, quite a bit. Let me spray it with some more. I also have this tiny little airbrush that I bought at like one of those bin stores where everything's like returned from Amazon, but it was only $5, so like how could I resist? So I hope it's not too loud for you, but I'm gonna just kind of give this some variety like that. I love how this pushes the ink around. It's so pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna put that on here. Everything is just a mess here. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp it straight down. That, and then I'm just gonna keep just pressing it around. And I still have some on the actual plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add it to this. That looks really cool. There's still some on there too. All right, let's borrow some of that. Lift off a little bit more to finish off the edges here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I've got paint everywhere now. So that's great. Let me put the cap back on that. And I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry because this glob right here is going to take a little extra time because it's pretty thick. But I like how it looks. It's really pretty. Now, one of the things that I like to do with this is I like to turn it into like jewelry cards and stuff. So I'll show you some examples of some that I made the other day. So I just use kind of like that same process, only without the gel plate. I just did it directly on the paper. but like this is the outcome. So like now I have these little pieces that I can put jewelry on. So again, like I showed you that bracelet that I made from the UV resin, I can literally just use this as a placeholder for it and then package it up. So like if I have that, what I would do is, let's see, where's my blade? Actually, I may even just, oh no, I can't because I have that little thing. I put some laminate on the back of it, but like they're so pretty. And then if I just had like two little cuts up there, I could just lay them. I could slide that in, and then that would be a perfect card holder for it. So super cute. There's lots of fun things that you could do with this. I could do the same here. It'd be a little bit longer. It actually might not even fit. Maybe if I go like that. Look at my fingers. Yeah. I mean, um, I'll post pictures of how I end up using it, but I just love how it looks. It looks so pretty. It looks like you spent a lot of time online trying to figure out how to do that in Photoshop. I wonder if this one's dry yet. Still a little bit wet. So let's see if we can speed it along with blotting a little bit. This might even give us some texture too. Help. It's getting close. Right here in the middle a bit more. Hi, Sean. So glad you could join me. We're making we're making a huge mess. I love how that looks. It looks so cool. And it's all shiny. Okay, so I have this now. And what I want to do with it is cut it up into little tiny pieces. Whatever you do, Sean, don't come into the studio. It's a mess. Or at least my desk is. Okay, so have that. I'm going to trim the edges. I'll save these little scraps for something later. There we go. Last edge. Now I have a card, and then again, like I said, if I want to use this for jewelry, I can, my favorite is just to kind of slice it at about 2 inches, like that. So 2 inches this way, not this way. I think this is about 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches up, like that. There you go. It's really pretty. I really love how it looks. And now I have 3 cards to use. They're still kind of a bit damp, so I'm gonna set these aside. Let's check on this guy. This area here in the middle is still really wet. So I'm gonna cut around that for now. So I'm just gonna leave this here. Trying to avoid getting it in that glob. There you go. When this is finally ready, it's gonna be really pretty because of this texture here. It almost looks like a fractal burn, like whenever you see wood burning done by electricity, like if lightning strikes a tree or something, that's kinda like what it looks like. Or maybe coral. It's neat. Okay, so now I have these beauties. I especially love this section with the purple. I love purple. This is my favorite color, this like green color, but purple is a close second. Okay, I'm gonna trim these.
I have these little cute cards and I want to show you kind of like what my intention is for them. So what I like to do with these is to display jewelry. So for, let's say this one is really pretty. I'm going to square it up a little bit more because it's kind of wonky. I'm just going to take just a little bit off. Just enough to give it that square look. Okay, or the even look. And then even on this side too, it looks a little funny. And of course, you don't have to do, like, you don't have to make it look all nice like this. By all means, you can leave it organic if you want. But this is what I, like, this is what I was mentioning earlier, is I'm gonna put 2 little cuts along the side. And if you really wanted this to be like extra strong, you could put something on the back like a laminate or even like vinyl from like what you would use with a Cricut. Both of those things will make it even more sturdy, but I'm going to trim it just a little bit there and a little bit here. And then find that bracelet that I lost once again. I really should have had a game plan coming into this. I'm so sorry. But I did promise you guys more chaos this year. Okay, I don't know where I put it. So I'm just going to show you with this as an example. But like, let's say you have this on, you want to have it on a card to put it in your packaging or whatever the case might be. You just loop it through there and then it's going to hold your piece really nicely. And it's going to look really pretty doing it. So this is one of those types of things that can, here it is, that can really set your stuff apart from, you know, if you're at a market and there are other vendors that are also selling resin jewelry, having really pretty packaging, having great displays, that's all stuff that goes a long way when people are wanting to purchase. So like if you know, go to a market and you have $50 in cash and you know, you have a chance to spend it on Joann's resin creations. I use Joann as in like the store, not anyone that I know. Or you have a chance to buy something from Rad City, then you know, things like really pretty packaging and stuff's going to go a long way. So this is, an example of what you could do. I use these all the time as earring cards. Those are super helpful. Let's see if I have one that I already bent. Doesn't look like it, so I'll just use one of these. Try to find a skinny one. Maybe this one. So like if I wanted to use this as an earring card, I would maybe fold this down here. Like that. Maybe kind of score it a little bit. And burnish it down a little bit. And then, just poke some holes in here. I used to have a little earring punch. I immediately broke it. It was from Temu, so it wasn't like super nice. But this rivulet thing, it's for setting grommets. It works really well. So punch, and then punch. And then now you have an earring card. You could put your label here. You can do whatever you want there. So it just gives you an opportunity to make your own stuff. This is way cheaper than trying to order custom printed items. And you can really, really exercise your creativity so that even the packaging itself, you can tell your customers, hey, I know that a lot of people are making resin right now and you want to get something that's unique and special. This is going to be it. This is going to give you an opportunity to have something that absolutely no one else has, right down to the packaging and everything. So these are pretty cool. So yeah, where did that, and then here, come back to this. So same deal. I would like, maybe these are a little longer. So I would maybe do these in half and then put a ring. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's see, do I have any rings close to me? No, they're all up on display. Okay, so like let's say I want to put a ring here. What I would do is either punch some rivulets and then tie the ring on. I think that could be really cute. Or I would do this. So like I fold it in half and it's going to give it some strength. I'm going to punch one rivulet and then another one from this side. And I want them to be fairly close together. And then, again, you could either tie that on, or what I'm gonna do, and this will probably make it look a little wonky, but normally I would maybe do this with a hobby knife, but I'm just gonna put a cut that connects those two, like that. And then this is my wedding ring, so I'll just use that as an example, but here I can push that through like that, and I may have needed to make it a bit, oh, it didn't go all the way to the second hole, so there we go. Like that. And then I can put that in a little baggie, and there I go. Super cute. So lots of ideas of how you can play around with this stuff. If you have any questions, if you want to see other demonstrations, reach out to me, let me know. You can comment here, or you can visit me on Facebook at Rad City Resin on Facebook, or in many of the resin communities. And if you have questions, definitely let me know and ask and find out if I can maybe demonstrate something that you've wanted to see done, because I love playing with this stuff, and I'm always happy to share my trade secrets and teach you more about the business side, as well as just being creative and not knowing any limits. So thank you for joining. If you were able to swing by for a minute and watch, I appreciate you. I'll see you on Wednesday with a new Wednesday AI resin challenge video, where I plan to make a resin necklace that looks like a wave. And if you've seen the fake resin jewelry being displayed, you'll probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'll see you later. Thank you so much. Go make something awesome. And as always, stay rad.